The solution to the problems we are facing today in terms of world conflict and crisis is in the hands of those who can enliven the field of all solutions, the field of pure consciousness, the field of pure being. Because consciousness is all there is. Consciousness is the source, course, and goal of all that we experience. When consciousness is clouded, problems arise, and we are operating on an individual level and collective level as if in darkness. The solution to the conflicts that we see in our world and the potential crises that might emerge from those problems, it might expand due to those problems, is in your hand. You who have learned the Siddhis, you have learned transcendental meditation. It is not just a question of chance or unexpected reasons why we have this 10,000 course coming up. It is nature doing it. And it is nature that wants the stability, that wants the strength of 10,000 people doing their program together to create waves of calm, of bliss, of prosperity, of happiness, of peace in our dear world. When we look at the events and we look at the news today, we see all these young people coming together, preparing together wholeheartedly to engage in a process that is a process of war. They are willing to die, they are willing to kill, to protect their culture, their continuity, their existence, and this is very, very honorable and justified on some level. However, the methods that are used, the methods that have been used, particularly recently in this crisis in the Middle East, in Israel, where there has been brutality of a sort that we never expected will happen in our time, indicates the urgency with which nature wants to transform life on a very profound level. And you alone, dear Siddhas, dear meditators, can do it. We alone together can do it. The problem is that there are two solutions that are envisaged in terms of resolution of conflict. One solution is proven not to work, and a solution has been proven to actually work. Unfortunately, due to habit, due to past experience, due to growing from a level of collective consciousness that is on the fighting level, on the killing and being killed level, there has been this sense that we have to use the solution of demolishing, destroying, and being able to sacrifice oneself on that level. Now, this has been tried over and over again. It has not led ever to a proper solution, to a continuing solution. It has led maybe sometimes to temporary changes, but then again, as we look at the history, the suffering, the pain, the difficulties, the problems that arise from that indicate that this path never leads to a true winner. Everybody ends up being a loser. On the other hand, there is a solution that is a proven solution, a solution that has been studied scientifically and supported scientifically, the solution from the level of consciousness, from the level of pure being, of enlivening natural law within us and creating the effects that ripple from the point of its creation, which is in a group, and we know the formula, the square root of 1%, and creates an effect on the entire population. Our world's population, 8.1 billion. The square root of 1% of that is about 9,000, and we are doing this project of 10,000. So I'd like to ask you, all those who have learned the Siddhis, whether you have been practicing regularly or not, to come to this course in India as an absolute priority, as an important priority in our life, in this time of transition, in this time of difficulty, because we have the key and we have to be able to use it. Now, if for some reason you cannot come, some real health reason or very urgent problems that you have, then of course, as a very second possibility, there is a course in Fairfield and Maharishi International University. However, I want to emphasize that the absolute priority is to be together in this big course, which represents our international family, and being together, we can create the effect. Because the assumption that everything is only happening on the physical level is an assumption of ignorance, of lack of knowledge of the true nature of life. And therefore, on the surface level, there can be all kinds of logic, all kinds of reasoning, all kinds of thinking that makes people act and that make people behave in different ways. The reality is, underlying all of that is a field of consciousness. And from that field of consciousness emerges all that we see on the surface level. And acting from that field, we can truly have the solution to the conflicts. And we have seen this over and over again and have documented this in scientific studies that have been analyzed with scrutiny, with controls, with eliminating potential variables that might have influenced the thing. And therefore, we have a truly proven solution. So let's go for the proven solution. Let us act with enthusiasm, with strength, with feelings, like these these soldiers that have given and are trying to give their whole life in order to create a permanent peace. And they are to be loaded on the individual level, on the individual vision and the intention level. But unfortunately, going into solutions that have never worked will only lead to greater and greater pain and suffering. And then, of course, because they've never worked, they'll not work again. And therefore, in the same way as these great people are willing to go forward, and you can see them putting their whole life, their whole interest in this, why can't we, as Siddhas, put our interest in experiencing bliss together, and feeling happy together, in being secure and well, and expanding our consciousness and contributing to making life better for everyone in our planet? So let's use it as a great joy, at the same time a great responsibility. Come together and let's do it together. Again, if you cannot come, you can go to an alternative course, but I would strongly encourage you to support others who can come, to support the pundits, to support the students in India and in different countries, maybe your own country, and to support generously so that we can truly create a 10,000 group and inspire the creation of a permanent group so that such problems will never happen again, and such suffering and such pain created on so many levels of emotions, of feelings, of fear of the future, sense of insecurity, economic ripples, and all of these political conditions and chaos and all of that don't happen again. And call upon people that you know, responsible people, wealthy people. Let them realize this, let them understand this, and let them support this so that we have a permanent situation of a collective consciousness that is balanced, a collective consciousness that is acting from the pure field of pure being, the managing direction, the managing director of all that is on the surface level and which is within us, that we can enjoy in bliss to be together, increase our experience, evolve in our own personal life, and at the same time make a difference for our dear world. So I again urge you to join. And the situation in this place where we are doing in Hyderabad, a little bit south of the city, is very comfortable actually. There has been these rumors about tents and maybe not comfortable. It's of course not a 5-star hotel, but it is very convenient, very comfortable, and in that very nice atmosphere, you will have comfort at the same time. All the details have been and are going to be taken care of for one's security and comfort, and above all, the ability to be together, to fly together, and to send waves of calm and happiness and bliss and peace for our dear world, and protect our youngsters and our elders from going into suffering and pain and losing confidence in life and in living. To the contrary, they will have great inspiration, life will change, and the solutions on the surface will suddenly appear. They will appear. Of course, the solutions will have to be worked out on the surface, but if you are in darkness, then you cannot see. And when you are in the light, and when the collective consciousness is in the light, then the leaders will see the solutions, some new solutions that maybe never have been thought or never have been imagined will suddenly become available, and people will be ready to do them and follow them, and life can be lived on the highest dignity that we as humans who have the ability to transcend, have the ability to experience the self, to experience pure being, have been given from just our inner structure and physiology, as we have been, as is said, created in the image of the divine, and therefore we have that possibility, and that is only true and possible when we actually go to that inner self, to that inner being, and act and think and give our influence, our inspiration from that level, and all solutions on the surface will appear. So again, I urge everyone to join in, come to this program, invite your friends, call your siddhas, invite them, those who have been maybe not meditating or have stopped practicing the program, let them come, let them be re-inspired, let them participate in this, and let them support this program also. So we look forward to being together. It will be fabulous from our side, a time of transformation, of bliss, of happiness, which we can radiate rather than radiating fear and worry and insecurity and conflict. We will radiate the happiness that we will be developing, the strength that we will be developing, the energy, the light that we will be expanding from the field of pure being. And we are infinitely grateful for the knowledge that we have received from His Holiness Maharishi Mahesh Yogi and the Vedic tradition that have given us this knowledge of inspiration, but more than inspiration, knowledge of how to integrate life and support all aspects on the inner value of feeling and experiencing, as much as spreading it on the surface value of peace, happiness, and prosperity and well-being for everyone. Jai Guru Dev.